Good morning, Joanna Barker, and I'm going to go through the introduction quick on this. That's my company. That's all the different, the website, the Instagram, all that good stuff. But if we have a coffee break, you can learn a lot more. Next slide. This is about me. So love of God, family, and country. Yeah, you betcha. I'm right up there. I have a can-do attitude. I don't think there's no such thing as can't do that. There's always a way. It's time and money, but there's always a way. So, okay, being creative, obviously, and you can see I have a sense of adventure. I like jumping. So that's my family up there. Love them all, and especially my grandkids. Awesome. And then Paul.
So Joanna brought me into this project. Paul McKelvey Construction. This is my website. It's pretty simple. McKelvey Construction. It's .net, net.com. So, but regardless, I've been at this for a long time, since I was a kid. Dad would hire me to go fix stuff and throw me out there, and he overpaid me, and I got excited about construction and kind of self-taught along the way. So anyway, go ahead.
So this is a project that Paul and I worked on. This client was out of Texas. They bought a property down by the Dana Point, and we used a lot of the guys from DTN. So we're going to show it to you. This, thank you, Johnny, for sending me this. This was a tweet that Johnny sent out at the beginning of the job when we were all at the job site. Just kind of shows us, you know, getting our hands dirty there.
That's awesome.
Oh, next. All right, that's the property. So that's the back side of the house, and they look at it, the ocean, right over the Gelson's parking lot, if you know where that is. Okay, there's the entry. So this is a before and after. More forward. Sorry, I feel like I'm in the way. This is the before and after, so there'll be slides that are the before shots, and then you'll see the after, and they should be somewhat evident. So here's the entryway. Here's the entryway afterwards. You can see just cleaning it out, a new door and paint, and fixed it right up. Go ahead. This is what you used to walk into, and it was dark and it was dated, and we had a client who didn't like that. So now you're seeing the old. Now let's show us the new. Yeah. Don't tell me we can't do stuff. Paul was brilliant. I'm not kidding. He figured out a way to get it engineered so we could get those walls out of there. It wasn't easy, but he made it happen, and I'm thrilled about that. Okay, so this is looking back the other way now into the front. My back is to the ocean, looking towards the front door. This is what you looked at. If you look to your right, you see the dining chandelier hanging, and then the little window that goes into the kitchen, and you see the bar area on your left. So there's the dining into the kitchen, and we took that whole wall out. Actually, all of that. That's what it looks like now.
Open.
Yeah, you betcha. It's open, it's airy, it's light, it's beautiful. And this, I want to really show you this. This up here is the structural part.
If I can take a moment. So that little hole that used to, you could peek out of the kitchen out to see the view, that was a shear wall. And to take that shear wall out, we had to figure out, all right, how are we going to transfer the shear back up to the roof? And that truss system right there does exactly that. That's structural, even though we made it look architectural. What that thing does is it drags back over to the other wall, drops all the way down, big footings, and we hit it all and turned it into that. And then had Aaron's guys come along and absolutely blend it all into the ceilings. There was a multiple coats of, so we'll keep going, but yeah, this was a fun project.
Okay, so now this is the old one looking back to the ocean corner and towards the bar. And this is what you would have seen. Go ahead. A little more expanded, do the same thing and go. And there it is.
Whoa.
That's what it looks like. So what Aaron's guys did was we added the wood here. That was just plain
That was
ceiling.
drywall.
It was drywall. Plain ceiling in my terminology. And what Aaron's guys did, you guys nailed it because we had an existing old wood ceiling in the dining area that they had to match, and they did. They nailed it. It was not easy, but it's perfect. So now the whole thing is cohesive. It's not choppy.
So
Right? Or is it revealed?
Matt? So behind that truss, you'll see the wood ceiling with Johnny's lights up inside of it. That wood ceiling and that truss is all brand new. There used to be a wall right there. And so he matched and made it look like it was all part of the original system. So the whole idea that we always go after is make it look like it was built that way to start with. Don't make it look like an add-on,
Right.
right? Or you got it anyway, so.
Right.
That's TNG.
Yes.
All right. So
Yeah, and then the beams were actually, we built those on site and they're actually fake beams, where the other ones are structural. They hold up the roof.
okay, next. So there's the view looking out. My back's to the dining area at this point for your view. So this is a close-up on the bar. That's what it was before. And then here's the after. Much different. Yeah, just clean, updated. This client was really great because she knew what she wanted and she knew what she liked, but she wanted open and she wanted beachy, but not cottagey. Much more contemporary. And she was willing to spend the money, and she was willing to have things that were a little more avant-garde. She didn't want ordinary in any sense. So this is the old kitchen there. So now I'm standing looking towards the ocean. That's the old fireplace wall and the doors, and that's the wall that we took out. Go ahead. And that's what it looks like. I don't always have exact matching angles on the shots, but you get the gist. Did a lot of fun things here. There's so many fun textures with the tile behind the blue cabinets, and then the sand washed cabinets over here with some other white cabinets on the inside. Just a lot of playful colors, textures, and tones here.
And if I can take a moment, Peter was definitely a part of this project, cabinet maker, and he custom built that table to her specifications that then matched the stairwell that what we built there. So again, we were provided, here's what we want it to look like, and he pulled it up.
Yeah, absolutely. He does beautiful work anyhow. Nothing to fault there. But it's really cool. This, I don't know if you can tell, but this island is connected to this table. It's all pretty seamless. It's a kind of a neat feature.
Another thing I wanted to mention was there was a wood, a clear pine floor
Right.
that was stained really dark.
Yeah.
And it had all the hand scraping in it. And the owner looked at it and said, you know what, I don't want to rip this out. Let's restore it. And so through Joanna, we hired a flooring contractor that was able to come in and carefully lace everything together, sand it all down. So that floor is a combination of brand new matching, where we took the old wall out and had to patch everything back. He laced it all together. And so that's the majority of it's the original floor.
Oh, it was pretty, that was a pretty neat save.
Yeah.
So, looking back at it the other direction. Okay. This is the old powder bath. Then we go to the next. That's the new one. So just kind of, again, unusual features. The toilet hangs on the wall. The sink is concrete, also hangs on the wall. this light fixture, which Johnny guys replaced for me a couple of times. There's a story there. And then the wall cover, she had fun and we had fun because it was just a great project.
Take a moment on the light fixture. There was, it's a,
Well,
it's a Japanese,
no, it's made in Brooklyn. It's from New York.
I thought those were floats, glass
No,
floats.
the concept is
Oh,
like
the
the
okay.
fisherman's,
All right.
the fisherman's floats, but it's
Float.
not. No, but these are each individually made to order. That's a $2,500 light fixture
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
in the powder bath.
In a-
All these
in a
guys
powder
are like, don't drop it.
Oh,
It's a powder
wow.
bath.
Is that
Right.
wallpaper?
No,
That's
so
That's wallpaper.
That
and
is
That's
wallpaper.
actual sliced bamboo. No, what is
No.
it?
it's just wallpaper.
But it's a wood veneer that was cut very thin.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's wood.
Yeah, I don't think so.
What is it?
It's paper.
Oh, is it paper?
It's paper.
Oh, which is wood.
Starts very thin. Different stage. Different stage.
Bravo.
wood. Good save. Paul. Good save. There you go.
Okay, let's get on to the
Yeah.
next. So here's the old stairwell and tore out, again, the trick was open it up, lighten it up.
Yeah.
And modernize it. And this is what Paul was talking about, how all this wood in the staining, I forget what the species was, but all that had to be pulled together and matched and finished.
Structurally, it's a regular 4x4 inside that dropped all the way down, that we bolted down below, and then we had our finished carpenter take and literally sleeve over it white oak and then stain all of that and groove in a detail. And she showed us an inspiration picture of what she wanted, and we were able to replicate it. But that's actually a half-inch white oak that sleeves over everything.
All right, we're downstairs now. This is the bedrooms and bathrooms downstairs. That's the old hallway and this is the new hallway. You can see it's just clean. We got rid of the little stand cabinet and made it a closet with the barn door on it. Just a nice update. This is the master bedroom. That's what it looked like before. And there it is after. So one of the key things we did, I failed to mention this when we were upstairs, both upstairs and downstairs had fireplaces in this area and she wanted windows there. A neighbor in that area had done that previously. And she said, I know we can do it, let's do it. So we gave them a window as big as we could. There's the old master bath. Go ahead. And there's the new one. Again, did Peter make the cabinets? No.
He figured out how to mount them.
Oh, that's what it was.
She provided them, she
He's
found
fine.
those, but he did all the shelving that you can see in the middle.
Yeah,
and
he did all
then,
those floating shells, which are gorgeous.
Another past BTN member, Jeff Hart, did all of it.
All the tile, which is really cool. We're going to show you a nice detail on this floor in just a second. This is the concrete tile and it's spilled into the master bedroom. Just
That
kind
is
of
cool.
It
Yeah,
is, it's
And
fun.
then
It's very fun. Master bathroom, this is the shower and toilet compartment.
original.
And there's the new one. And by the way, this looks all like wood. This is tile. All of this is tile.
The big pieces,
Very-
2 foot by 4 foot, and we can't fit those onto a tile saw. So what they did was carefully lay them out, and Jeff's guys by hand with dry diamond blade on a little heater. Simple, but just hold it true and literally wrap the corners, mitered the corners back so it all looked like it's a wood saw.
It's super clean.
Yeah. And 16th inch scrap joints. So
Wow.
he did a
Yeah,
good job.
really
And he
had
wrapped it
expert
back
craft-
in, yes.
expert craftsmanship.
Right. He wrapped it back into the shower shampoo niches and everything's all mitered. And it took them.
It's so
was-
beautiful.
it Came up.
Yeah. Okay, this is, so I don't know why this picture is reversed, but I couldn't figure out how to change it, but this is one of the bedrooms. And that's what it looks like after. Pretty simple. No big changes here. Just cleaning it up, modernizing, and we go to the next. Same thing. This is the another bedroom. So it's a 3-bedroom. And that's, you know, again, just simple, clean, updated. And then this is the hall bath. That's before. And there it is after. And you can see what a difference, you know, it can be. It's the same house. Just what do you-
Money, I was thinking. the
Just
same
money,
thing.
just money.
That's
right.
Not only that, that there's the craftsman involved.
Oh, you betcha.
Give money to the wrong people.
You're right. You're right.
Well,
Yep.
that's what we mean. Everyone is worthy of their hire.
Yeah.
You see, and especially if you have this kind of expert craftsmanship, then the money has to be there in order to reward them for what they're doing.
Okay, so last but not least, back patio, which Paul, go ahead. Paul changed up the tile on there. I think it's is that a terrazzo?
It looks like it is a terrazzo, but it's an actual tile,
Okay.
but it looks like it was, cut and polished, like almost a volcanic look to it. But we took the deck down entirely, a lot of damage to the deck, and then built that back up. And then Jeff's guys, they came in and laid the tile down below. All of that, so a lot of waterproofing. Yeah. So, one thing I definitely want to let Johnny talk about the lighting. You see how it's so bright in there. So if you want to, I mean, working with his guys, were great. Working with Aaron to have that all finally come together and match everything. And so you're one of your lead guys, Memo. He just nailed, and even to the point of taking Johnny's trims around the ceiling. She wanted that to look like wood. So we took those trims and we painted it, and then we sponged the second color on it. It was like a multicolor on that existing ceiling. And so everything that came back in new matched it.
It was pretty awesome. One of the things, you guys have heard me say this before, but I don't work with anybody but Johnny and his guys. I just won't. There's no point. You get it, you get me, and your guys work with me, and they know how to get me what I want. I don't know how to get what I want. I know what I want, but I don't know how to get there, and you guys know how to do that. And it's always so great to work with you. And I'm grateful.
Thank you. I'd say this was obviously looking at the pictures, that what a blessing to even be on a project like that and be associated with that kind of eye and craftsmanship and skill. And what I love having you guys go through this, I love the stories. Each little room has a story. And what you talked about was 1/10 of those stories.
Yes.
I saw the light over the stairwell. That was a whole story, right? And so it's just wonderful working with you guys and being part of such fine craftsmanship. I want to get those pictures and put them on our social media with the same kind of concept of like bringing more understanding to the expertise in this group right here. That's just phenomenal work, you guys. Proud of you.
How much time was spent on the actual visionary layout with the client to move
Good
towards what
question.
she wants?
Where we started, when I started, the client came to me who, okay, so shout out for networking in general, a realtor who I've known for 15 years now, who I met at a BNI. We were in the same BNI chapter for years and years and years. Anyhow, neither one of us is in there anymore. And he called me and said, got this lady, got a client, da-da-da. She became a client. She's in Texas. She really needed, boots on the ground here. So I was kind of her eyes and ears along the way. So the first thing we had to do was to figure out, how do we open it up? How much can we open up? If we take out this wall, can we take out this wall? The fact that Paul was able to get it to go all the way across wall to wall was huge. We didn't think we were going to be able to do that. That was discovery. We knew what we wanted. So So it was incremental in terms of how we approached it. We want at least this much space. If I can get it, I want this much space. And we didn't know until, we brought in the structural engineer and we all had meetings and figured it out. And these guys had to go downstairs in order to carry that load. They had to go downstairs. They dug out these big holes in the concrete slab, and then they put in these huge new footings. I don't remember how big they were. But I mean, he has photos.
Yeah.
of
3 foot by 3 foot by 3 feet deep, 2 sides on either of the shear wall. And then the other one that we did that I didn't talk about was they're in the front. As you step down into the living room, there was a splice in the beams, and there was a post right down in the middle of that hallway wall. So how are we going to get rid of that hallway wall? And what we ended up doing was literally shoring the one side, because the other was over the bar wall, and we put a huge strap on one side, screwed that in big, it's about that wide by a 1/4 inch deep, and then had that welded to a bucket that then carried the beam on the other side. So it literally is cantilevering out over, but that loaded the one post on the other. So there was a big footing on the other side. And so just a fun solution that then just let us open everything up, and you wouldn't see that it was ever.
So the way the process works with the client is that we come to them with their concept, say, here's the idea, here's what we want to do. I get Paul there, Paul gets the structural engineer there. I figure out, okay, we think we can do this, 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 and this. You go, it's a back and forth with the client. It's a process. Design is absolutely a process. It's not like I show up, trim something in and go, okay, you're done. There's a lot of give and take. And Paul had to come up with a couple of different budgets, rough budgets, but
Right.
we said, if we do this, it's going to cost, I think it was a 200,000 range on
Right.
each one of them.
So this client, Joanna would ask for, okay, let's do good, better, and best, right? Jody, to my delight, always picked best.
She always did.
Always did it. And so that allowed us to do this level of a project.
Right,
So
right.
How much was the overall project?
I had the majority of the work. It started out at just under 400, and it went to about 475. And there was other components that she hired out. So I didn't have the kitchen cabinetry. She had hired that out. So she was probably by the time it was all done, 650 range.
Yeah,
Interesting.
certainly.
Yeah.
certainly.
Yeah.
But for the money she spent on the things that she bought, definitely.
And then
Yeah, and I don't know what she spent on the furnishings.
And then there's that.
Right, then
There's
there's
just
that.
a whole
the
nother
$2,500.
$100,000.
And
$2,500 lamp.
lamp,
one
right, chandelier.
special thing that we can notice is the ocean view property.
Yeah.
But before you guys work, there wasn't any ocean view at all.
We added that. and
So
that
you
was
bring
best.
the ocean, you brought the ocean to the
Yeah.
house, and you add so much value to the property
Well,
by doing this. And this is part of your jobs, our jobs, to increase value of the property. And you guys did it. This is 600,000, considering the
Before
budget.
COVID.
Yeah, it's
After
it's
COVID, it would have
big-
cost a lot
a
more.
big deal for the client.
Yeah.
They add value.
She had the vision to take out the fireplaces. Most people want to keep all of that. And
Yeah.
she's like, no, there's an ocean view out there. I want to open things up. And so we were able to, in working with the HOA, that was a little bit of a challenge. And,
Parking.
Oh, the
parking,
neighbor?
yes, and then our crazy neighbor. Oh, boy.
We have all sorts of
There's lots of
stories.
stories.
Yeah,
So-
do a coffee break with one of us.
Right. Right. So
Looking in the dirt.
there's lots of challenges along the way.
If it's too easy, it's no fun.
Indeed, indeed.
Joanna, Paul, can you real quick, what was the feedback of your clients? Like, give us a summary of like, when they see, you know how it made us feel when we saw it? Can you imagine those clients? Like, give us, what was their feedback to you guys?
No, they love it. I mean, they love it. There's just no, she's a smart, savvy woman. And she and her husband own their own business and are very successful. And they had high expectations and they kept them high. And that allowed us to bring the best to the table. You know, usually you have to present the different options, and like Paul said, Jody consistently picked the best every time, qualitatively, financially, whatever.
Those are ideal clients.
They are.
Yes,
They are.
absolutely.
Like Peter asks for all the time.
Yeah.
Unlimited budget, you know. How
Well,
soon we
she
work
didn't have an unlimited budget, and there were budget talks, but she had spent X amount of dollars just to buy this property, knowing it was a fixer. You know, I mean, it wasn't. Well, it was falling down in some places actually.
I'd say you guys saved them some money in those 2 downstairs bedrooms. You got a
We were
lot-
very
yeah, you
conservative
got a lot
there.
out of that and probably were able to, you know,
But-
stay within her concepts.
Yeah, and the floor downstairs was not, we just put in a regular wood floor that matched what we had going on
Right.
upstairs.
Yes, because that, I forget, what was the flooring down there before? Was it,
Carpet.
it was just carpet?
Yeah.
Right. Yes, that's right.
was
And so,
gross.
just in,
Who
so
took the photos, the after photos?
Paul's
I
contact.
have, you'll see it on my website now. I definitely dialed my website up. There was a fellow that, his name's Dimitri, and he's actually doing time-lapse photos of a project that we're doing at Mills. And he offered up to do professional photography. And so
You did a
he
nice
goes-
job.
Yeah,
he
really,
did.
really good.
I was happy with that. So you can see a bunch of his work, or our work on my website.
Yeah.
Great job.
Thank you.